God looking for people that's going to advance the business of life and brilliance and spirit. Are you prepared? Not are you willing? God knows. No, no, no. Look at your free time. God evaluates all of your lives and all of my life. He looks at what we do when our time is free to see if we're able to make brilliant contributions. He's not looking for just praise and not just looking for you to put your hands up in the air. He wants to see where our mind is occupied. Where is our attention occupied? Where is our heart and soul occupied? What is occupying our consciousness? What is driving us every morning? What is our soul adoring? What's first in our life? It's not a matter of waking up in the morning and praying first, but what is that one thing in our life that's causing everything to find its own place? Whatever is first in your life will cause everything in your life to evolve around that thing. What is in my life that's causing this to be first, second, third, and fourth? What is in my life that's prioritizing everything in my life? My attitude, my feeling, my energy, my money, my time, everything. Who is on my team? Who do I have on my team? Who do I have on my team? When God created us, he said, let us make man. God had a powerful team when it was time to create himself as us, through us, for us. God had a team. How many of you have a team? You have a team that creates with you. And we're just not talking about somebody who goes to church with me and prays. We praise on the same pew together. No, no. Who do you have? Whatever God's going to do, if he knows you're prepared, you are coming with him. If he knows you're ready, you're going with him. You don't never have to ask him. You don't have to ask him if you're going to do it. Don't leave me out. Believe me, he knows if you're able. But if you're not prepared, you're not going. If you can't see, you're not going. If you're not able, you're not going. You understand? It's not about sincerity. It's not about praying with your heart. You got to understand, God is not looking at sincerity. He's looking at preparation. And you're going with him if he knows that you're going to make a contribution. Now, before I go, how many of you have already made it? It's not a matter of, yes, I got it. No, 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 no. He knows how to evaluate his own children. Once again, before I go, Luke 11:11 says, you as a father, if your son asks for a fish, will you give him a snake? Which means when you treat your children a certain way, you're going to give your children what they need. You're going to live responsibly. He said, if your son asks for a piece of bread, will you give him a stone? It says, now you being unawakened, out of touch with who you are as a divine nature, if you, just being a mere human, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more does your father know how to give to you? You don't have to tell him what to give you. You have a father that already knows what's necessary. He knows how to think. God's not telling you to follow a piece of paper. He's saying follow a living witness, a living way. Do you understand? Yes. So it's like, God, I want to be in it. Whatever you're doing, don't leave me out. Believe you. Believe me. If you got something to bring to the table, you're the first person he's inviting. So before I go, have you received your invitation yet? Before I get off of Facebook Live, have you received your invitation yet? Have you received your email? Have you received your text message? Have you received that knock in your heart that God is saying, I'm coming to get you? I'm coming to pick you up. I need you to help me with something. Not just I'm going to bless you, but I need you to help me with something. There is some business we must tend to. I need you to help me with something. I'm coming to get you because you can help me with something. Let us make man. I want you to be a part of my us team. I want you to be a part of my us team. How many of you are feeling that right now? God wants me to be a part of the us, because we're going to put something together. Believe me, if you're prepared, he's already looking for you. So you don't have to ask him. God already knows. He already knows. He already knows how to think. God knows how to think. He's not into this rhetoric. It sounds good. It sounds spiritually romantic, but he's not into it. But I'm sorry, he's not into it. Because if you're prepared, he's already looking at you. God is already looking at you. You don't have to say, God, here I go. He's already looking. Do you know that you have a Father that knows everything that's ready or not? Don't you know that you have a Father, a divine companion that already knows that you are ready or not, that already knows who's prepared and not just prepared for me to go pick him up for heaven, but prepared to solve the problem? Because if you're able, believe me, he's coming to pick you up. You don't have to worry about anything. If you're ready, he's coming for you first. If you are ready, you don't have to scream. He's already picked you. He's already added you to the list. If you are prepared, he's already found you. How many of you believe that? How many of you believe that before I get off? I just want to know if you believe it before I go. Because if you are ready, he's already coming to pick you up. He's already added you to the team of players. He's already added you. So you don't have to ask him. He knows what to give you. He knows where to put you. He knows how to be responsible. Our Father is a responsible thinker. He will not act irresponsibly with your life. He won't put you somewhere and you're not ready. I don't care how you pray to acts. I don't care how you fast and fall out and lose 80 pounds fasting. I do not care. Fasting does not make God give you something out of season or out of time. Fasting and listening to soaking, there's nothing wrong with that, but it will not move God to give you anything quicker. Fasting or praying does not cause God to give you something you're not ready for. It'll make you feel good about where you are, but it will not allow God to ignore where we are irresponsible. Some of you got 13-year-old children. You're not going to buy them a truck. It's not ready. He doesn't need a credit card. He's not ready. He's irresponsible. He's not ready. So God knows if you don't give your child a credit card at 12 years old, if you won't put your 10-year-old child in a brand new car, if you won't sign a mortgage for a 9-year-old son, he already knows if you won't sign the mortgage for an 8-year-old. He says if you won't do it as a business owner, you're just not going to get somebody just full of drugs and take them off the street and say, I'm going to hire you to run my company. No. If you won't do it, your Father won't do it. God will not act irresponsibly with your life. We have to understand in this kingdom that God knows how to think, that God knows how to evaluate life. God knows where to put you. He knows when you are prepared. If you can't do it, I won't invite you. He's not inviting you to just a free-for-all. God will not act irresponsibly with you. I almost slipped and said, God will not act irresponsibly with thee. It just felt so good to say. But God won't act irresponsible. This is the kingdom we're dealing with. He's a thinker. Before I go, did you know that your Father does think and evaluate? How many of you felt that? Or did you feel that he just wanted to hear the right type of prayers? I need to buy a book to show me how to pray. No, you have a God that knows how to think. So regardless of how you pray, if you're not prepared to solve, you're not going to get the answer you're looking for. So that delay or that denial is God saying, get better prepared, and then I'll come back and pick you up. Get prepared and I'll send you an invitation. Believe me, I'll pay for everything. I will send an invitation for you to solve a problem. So before I go, how many of you are getting invitations to solve problems? How many of you are getting invitations right now? God is a businessman. Jesus said, I'm about my Father's business. There is a business to the kingdom. It's not just exchanging money, but it's preparation, evaluating time and talent and skill and heart and soul and discipline and thought. It's not just living holy. It's not just I'm living so I won't do wrong. I'm living so I won't sin. It's not about just not sinning. It's about discipline. It's about understanding. It's about what are you reading. It's about where you're spending your time. It's about your influence. It's about who's listening to you. How do people feel when they hear your name? What are you doing? Where are you going? Are you communicating properly? Are you prepared? It's not just about what rituals you're doing. It's not about what rituals you're doing to make yourself more safe. You got to know that God is responsible. And it's not about putting it back on God by saying, I'm your child, take care of me. Because you got to understand that God is a father. I have teenagers. We have 3 children living in our home. I'm taking care of all of them. They don't have to ask me, Daddy, can we eat? You're in my house, so you're going to eat. because I'm that type of father. You understand? I'm that type of father. And God is the same way. I'm going to feed you. You don't have to remind me to feed you. But I think it's time for us, our life, to transcend simply getting fed and getting our light bills paid. I think it's time for our life to transcend that. And when you transcend being a child, God says, okay, you're grown now. Let's see what we're going to do. You don't have to tell me what to do. God is like, you don't have to ask me what to do. You don't have to lay down and cry and tell me what to do. I know how to think. I know when you're prepared. I'm looking for contributors to bring to the table. I'm looking for people to come to the table with answers. I am looking for them. I am watching you at the brook drink water. I'm watching what you do daily. I am looking at you, not to see if you're going to hell, let me condemn you. I'm looking for people who are ready for business. And the same way you know how to look for businessmen, God looks for business too. He says, Bridget, you're ready. Audrey, you're ready. You're ready, Vanessa. You're ready, Robert. You're ready, Claude. I'm ready. Because you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. I'm looking for you, Rick. I'm looking for you, Jason. I am looking for you, Darren. I need something over here. Rick, I need you over here to handle that. God is an ambassador. Well, we are ambassadors. He's a king of a kingdom, and we're his children. We're his ambassadors, Yvette. So he says, I'm looking for diplomatic influence here. I'm sending you there. I'm not just sending you to church. I'm sending you to answer a problem. I'm looking for people who are ready to bring something to the table, because God is a master steward. Just like we should be good stewards of what we have. God is a good steward of his time. How many of you know that, and I didn't look to be on here this long, but how many of you know that God is a good steward of his time? Have you ever thought of that God is a good steward of his time? That God is not looking for time to waste. He's not looking to waste time. He doesn't waste anything good. Because just like Luke 11 says, Luke 11:11, you being a father, give a fish to your son who asks for him. You won't give him a snake. You won't give a bad gift to your children. So God won't give a bad gift to you. God won't give a bad gift to you. God won't give a bad gift to you, because God is responsible. He does not treat your life irresponsibly. So if you are prepared, you are invited. Let me hear you say that. If I'm prepared, I'm invited. If I'm prepared, it's not, I'm ready. No. How do you know what to get ready for? You just don't say you're ready. Just like if you're going swimming and they say, you ready? You got to bring swim trunks. You don't bring a tuxedo. So many times with God, we give rhetoric. I'm ready, God. Okay, but do you know where God is taking you? And are you ready for that assignment? How many of you are specifically ready for your assignment? You're not just speaking out of term. You're just not speaking praise rhetoric, Christian rhetoric. I'm ready, Jesus. Wherever you go, God, I go. Do you know where you're going? And did he prepare you for where you are going? Do you know where you're going? And do you know what you're going to solve? So how did you prepare? God will put you in mentoring situations, consulting situations, development situations, so you can answer the questions that the invitation is calling for. You just don't say, I'm ready. We got to understand God knows how to think, but I think we just get up and say something. I'm ready, God. God, you know I'm ready. I've been praying. No, this doesn't take being prayer. Prayer is relevant, but this takes an understanding on where I'm going to be led to. I'm going to be led here, so I need to learn this. Do we know that God gives us intellectual anointings to understand where we're going, so we can be properly prepared to talk and be and everything? God isn't just sending us to 3 o'clock services where we all just rattle off something, and there it is. We just rattle off things. We just get up and we just rattle off stuff. We just get up. Thank you, Lord. Thank the Lord for being here. We just rattle off stuff. God just doesn't send us to services now. He's sending us to dimensions. He's sending us to, what dimension are you invited to? Are you intellectually sound? Is your thoughts together? Are you ready? Are you comfortable? Are you ready to deal with people who think differently than you, who have a different perspective than you? How is your temperament? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you still coexisting between people who knew who you were back in the day and nowadays? Because there are some people who want you to still be back in the day so they won't pay your power price. Some of you have moved into a power. And then there are some people who knew you back in the day. Well, they don't want to pay your power price. They want to pay your back in the day price. Because if it's back in the day, it's free. So am I still coexisting with back in the day or with my